Hello, my name is Lucas Peterson, and I'm a business analytics and data science expert in the financial services industry. For the next 10 minutes, I want to show you a quick demonstration of the IBM Analytics Platform. For the demonstration, we'll be taking on the use case of a retail banking company who's interested in mortgage sales specifically. Our goal will be to improve sales and customer satisfaction. Now, all the data you're going to see is dummy data. It's a fake use case. Don't get bogged down too much in the numbers, but I'll be going over some of the key capabilities of that IBM Analytics platform. Please enjoy the demonstration. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Thanks. So for this first part of the demonstration, I'm going to be taking on the role of the business analyst within the retail bank who's been tasked with identifying ways to improve mortgage sales and grow the overall customer satisfaction. So first, I'm logged in here to this dashboard that I take a look at every single day throughout the quarter, so I can really track exactly how I'm doing with my mortgage sales. So the first thing I'm noticing is some of my key performance indicators. I can see exactly how many sales I have within the quarter and my customer satisfaction scores. I can then see exactly where my sales are coming from, and it appears as Texas has the most sales in terms of states. Then over on the right hand side, I can see my sales by each seller. One way I think that I'm going to grow sales for this quarter is to identify my best sellers and then emulate what they do across the organization. So I want to identify my top sellers. And now I can easily see my top 5 sellers for the mortgage product. But one concerning thing I've noticed on this dashboard is really in the top right here is my lost customers. It looks to be over 1/3 of all of my mortgage sales are to lost customers. And I wonder if my best sellers are also having this problem. So I'm going to want to do some deeper analysis on exactly what this churn is all about and if we can't find a way to prevent it in the future. So when I bring churn into my seller visualization, I can easily see that, yes, a lot of the customers that they are selling to go on to later churn, denoted by the green bars. So I'm not seeing a churn ratio within some of the metrics in the underlying database table, but I can always create one of those calculations right on the fly, either as a simple calculation or by using the expression editor here. And now I'm doing a simple if statement across the top that's going to count all of my customers that churned and divide them by the total amount of customers to give me a churn rate. I don't think I'm interested in seeing this lost customers anymore. I would really like to see that churn rate. Okay, so it's a little bit more than a third. It's about 38%. And we've been looking at this sales by state visualization, but I think I'd get more out of it. It'd be more interesting if I could see that churn rate over the states. So now we can tell that whereas Texas had the most sales, it's really not the biggest culprit in terms of churn rate. And that goes to other states such as Colorado, North Dakota, California, and so on, where churn is a bigger problem. So now I've identified a problem within mortgage sales that is churn, and I'm wondering what are some of the drivers of churn? How exactly could I get out in front of this problem? So I'm going to want to then bring in some other data behind the scenes. We've already brought in our mortgage and our satisfaction data, but I'm thinking credit history might play a role within this problem. So now I'm going to move into my diagnostic tool where I can see exactly the drivers of churn from that data I brought in behind the scenes. Again, we're combining our sales data along with our customer credit information. In this spiral chart, now I can really see what are some of the predictors of churn. In the far right, I can see some of those predictors like number of payments, average monthly fee, the home branch, and credit score seem to be like factors with that drive churn. But now as the analyst, now I understand what's driving churn. I'd like to create a predictive model for churn so that I could get ahead of this problem, find out who's likely to churn, and maybe send them a marketing campaign or get them on the phone to sort of discuss their payment plan so that they do not leave the bank. So I'll pass my insight over to the data science team, which can go ahead and dive into their data science workbench. And I've already pre-built out the model for us, but we'll take a look at this model and step through it step by step. So first I'm bringing in again that combined data, both our standard sales data and our customer credit information. We're merging those together, doing some transformations such as partition and filter, and then we're creating a neural network model. And here I can see that neural network model, and then click in and get a model summary. So I can see that the accuracy is about 83%, which is fantastic. I can see the predictor importance, so it looked like number of late payments was the primary driver, along with average monthly fee, credit score, and so on. I can look at my overall accuracy and look at some of my type 1 and type 2 errors. I have a map for the exact branches of the neural network. And then last, I can see some simple information such as the number of records that were used, did we partition the data, and so on. So now I've created my model. I want to score all my existing new customers and find out, are they going to churn, and what should we do about it? So I'm going to bring in our current customer data. We're going to run those through our churn model. Then we're going to filter out some of the columns that we don't really need, such as credit information, and just give me are they likely to churn, and how confident are we in that? So I can run a table to show exactly what is produced when we score our current customers against our new neural network model for churn. You can see in the bottom all the records that are going in and coming out as we score them. Okay, so now we have our table of records. I can see things like their customer ID, what branch they're associated with, the salesperson, and whether they're likely to churn or not. And then we have our confidence in that answer. So if I look at this third row, I see this person is likely to churn, and 99% positive that that's going to be a true outcome. So someone we might want to get on the phone, understand what's going on, maybe offer them a marketing campaign or a new payment plan or something like that. So let's jump into now what we can do about this now that we have that table of records. So lastly, I've created this customer list report, which has all of our customers that are likely to churn, and it's being sorted on that predicted churn confidence with our most likely to churn customers coming up at top. And I've changed this so that I can select by branch, or select by agent, or select by state. So I'll go ahead and just select any state here. I live in Washington, so I'll choose Washington. I see that Seattle branch has a lot of customers, so maybe I'll just focus in on that Seattle, Washington branch. And now I have all of my customers that are likely to churn, and I can go and get them on the phone and really understand what's going on, what we can do to prevent them from churning. So what do we just see? We saw a short demonstration that takes us through what we call the business analytics lifecycle, or the different analytics capabilities that can help a business really get to the root of a problem and then solve and act on that problem. So what you saw today was mostly descriptive analytics. We got in touch with reality, identified a problem and churn. Then we moved into diagnostic and we saw sort of why does it happen, what are some of the drivers. We found that both regular sales information as well as customer credit information both had to do with that churn. Then we built a predictive model. It was what was likely to happen next, who was likely to churn. And we sort of started to get into what should we do about it, but this might be something we do in the future based on some constraints such as marketing personnel, time, money. What should we do based on those constraints? And then one thing that we did not talk about, but is definitely included in this application lifecycle, is planning. What's our plan? And then we find out what happened based on that plan. And then once we've kind of predicted and done something about it, we need to update that plan. So this is really a continuous life cycle. And what's great about the IBM Analytics Platform is that we have capabilities in all these areas. So thank you for watching my short demonstration. That'll be it for today.